Good deal. We are here and we're joining you live from, both of us are in Arizona actually, so that works. And we are going to be talking
So
about,
they
what's
hear
that?
it? Will they see it?
Yeah, we're on. We're on. I see Lorraine has already hearted us. Hi, Lorraine. I'm going to post on here. Give us a drop down of where you're from, where you're joining us from today. AZ, this, and then, so welcome to Biblical Fiction Aficionados. We're excited to do another live, and today is a great honor that we're actually interviewing our gal, Dana, who's one of our co-hosts at BFA, about her book, Mantle. Yay! So, it said it, let's see, hide show. We're just getting all the tech worked out. I saw Lorraine hearting us. Thank you, Lorraine. Always so amazing to see you. Let's see here. I'm just going to hop over to BFA, see if we're still working good. Good deal, good deal. All right. Hi, Dana. How are you?
Hi. I'm just all of a sudden realizing maybe I don't have my reading ready.
Oh, no. Yeah. Okay. So,
Sure.
okay, this is how my week is gone because I'm here waiting in the waiting room of StreamYard, and Dana's like, I can't find the link. And I'm like, I didn't even send you a link. This is where I'm at. Like, I'll just give you talking points last minute. I'm not going to send you a link. Yeah, I'm going to interview you, no problem. But good luck getting there because
Yeah.
I'm a hot mess. So,
Thank you. The two of us, it's like book launch is extremely fun, but it's also, ups and downs, isn't it, Naomi? Just you
yes.
get things done just in time, and then you're
Yeah.
like, and then you go, something else is due right now.
Oh, goodness. Yes, it's so urgent. Everything's so urgent. Hi, Demi. Demi knows this well, I'm sure, of her
Mhm.
of her.
She does them one after another.
Yes. Hey, so Demi, we couldn't guess what your thing. Well, we kind of guessed. We think we guessed what your miracle was that you're wondering if is in the book or not. So we will ask you about that when we talk about that. Lorraine says hi from Texas. So glad you're with us. So we're really excited about this. It's well worth the wait. I love Dana's books. And if you're joining us now, a couple of things. Any comments, every comment that you make will be an entry into our giveaway. And is that a paperback, Dana, for US, or is that
Yeah, it will be a paperback. And I can I'll tell the person who wins. But yes, it will be a paperback. I will show you that this is not for resale. This is the proof. It will be a full, legitimate book that will have to come out sometime after April 20th. So we will discuss whether I just have Amazon ship it to you what's the word?
directly?
Right away, or whether you wait and then it has to be shipped to me and I will sign it and ship it to you.
Right. So Lorraine already has her cards and spoon. Thank you for mentioning that. If you are joining us, we will be playing a game with cards and a spoon. And if you've played in youth group games at any point in your life, you might know what this is for. It's going to be fun. It's going to be extreme. But yeah, go ahead and collect cards and spoon now if you don't already have that. And this is also kind of fun too because I put in a discussion post of like what virtual snacks you're going to be bringing to the thing, and I was like, hey, I think it'd be fun to bring bubble tea. That'd be awesome. I love bubble tea. I spent some time in Taiwan, which has the best bubble tea.
Bubble
tea. So another name of it is boba. And so I'm like, oh, that sounds really good. I'm going to virtually bring that. And I come home and my daughter had this like the leftovers of her bubble tea. And I was like,
Oh,
what? So it has tapioca balls in that.
ooh. All right, that's
So
gross.
yeah, either you love it or you hate it. There's
It's a
usually
little bit
not
like
any
mold.
in between. It's kind of like this one's really soft. But they're kind of like the consistency of like a chewy gummy bear. And you can see the straw is like really big so you can drink it. But anyway, it's just like a milk tea with a little sweetener. But I thought that was really cool because I got my bubble tea. And
Well,
it's
you
actually pretty good.
froze a little bit.
I did? Oh, no, not this. We're going to have. All right. How can I take the spoon from you digitally? That is a good question. I think Lorraine knows where we're going with this. Where it's going to be the honor system. I think we're going to trust your integrity. Demi is not a fan. Do you like the popping boba any better, Demi?
Well, what I want to know is, do those little blue balls go up through the straw too? Mm-hmm. Ooh. Okay. Oh, that's a little gross. I'm sorry.
And then you have to chew it. Again, these are not a good representation, but yeah, they're a little too soft and a little too squishy. So, and then there's also like, it's called a popping boba. It's got like do you remember fruit gushers?
Yeah.
So it's very small. It's much smaller than the black ones, but they're like a little fruit gusher. They've got some juice on the inside of like mango or whatever. So there's also that. But if it's done right, I like the black ones better.
It seems like, yeah, kids would like that. And that's sort of like, you're a kid at heart.
Yeah. Well, I spent some time in Asia. So that's really where I developed a love for it. And so you can get it here at Amazon or several trendy places these days. You can go in and pay, like Starbucks prices for it. Yeah. But we just get it off Amazon and make our own these days. So Lauren's never tried boba. It's unique talent to chew your drinks. I have not learned that. Is it fizzy? No, I guess you can put it in whatever you want. The original recipe is just straight milk tea, black tea with milk and a little sweetener. But like my daughter will put it in her blended coffee or on, like, you can put it in whatever drink you want. So if you're feeling fizzy, which I feel like it would be like too much going on with fizzy and the boba because you've got so many sensations, but they have it in Hawaii too. That's good to know. That is good to know. Yeah, you can find it at trendy tea shops, and Vietnamese restaurants will usually have it. So yeah, there you go.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Someday when I'm feeling brave, I will try it.
Next time we're together, Dana.
Okay. It's really mean to poo-poo stuff that scares you, right?
What's that?
It's really mean to poo-poo stuff that somebody tells you about.
Yeah. How do you know if you don't like it?
Yeah. Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. No, seriously though, because like Demi said, either you like it or you don't. So it's, I won't be offended. We'll still be friends.
Okay. All right. Good.
So if you've been around BFA for a while, Dana and I actually met. We're both from Arizona, actually, but we met first online, and I was interviewing her with Lisa Renee for Behind the Story, which is no longer we no longer do that. But so we interviewed her about rain, and I'm like, girl, you're in Arizona. So it's been really fun to connect with Dana. As an Arizonan, as a writer, I've like, Dana's like my go-to girl for like,
yeah.
Dana, pray for me. So it's really exciting. This is the third book in her series, The Whispers on the Wind, which are phenomenal, and I'm really excited about this. So congratulations on your upcoming book, Dana.
Oh, thank you. I'm excited. I've been told it's my best book ever. And after I got told that, I thought, Well, then I guess it's okay for Miralee to publish it because I thought it was the worst ever. And
Oh,
I
no.
went, Miralee, I'm going to have to write her and tell her, you cannot publish this. And then I started reading the last, how you go through it the last time and check for
Yeah.
little errors and stuff that got by everything. And I went, wait a minute, it's pretty good. Did I really write this? I think I'm glad, So yeah, I'm over
Does
that.
Dana live in the mountains too or near the desert? She is like smack dab in the Phoenix area. She is in the hot zone.
Yeah. And I'll just say this, don't imagine me in the desert. Imagine me like you saw that video, because my husband has made us an oasis in the midst of a block where other people have desert landscapes, So we have trees, we have grass, we have flowers and butterflies. So
And they also have a pool.
It's really nice.
When you're feeling sorry for Dana and her.
And in fact, now Naomi's frozen again, so I'm going to go on and keep talking. Actually, this piece of property used to be a cotton field. And so that's why we have irrigation. And if anybody doesn't know what irrigation is in Arizona, they open up ditches and all this water gushes out and it floods your yard about like 4 inches deep. And then it takes 2 or 3 days to soak in. So that's cheap water, and it's grandfathered in because it was farm, before. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, awesome. Can you see me now, or am I still frozen?
You're fine. It doesn't ever last very long, and I think everybody else can see it. It may be on my end, I'm afraid.
Yeah, which is bizarre, but
yeah.
Awesome. So I don't know, Dana, do you want to tell your fairy godmother story? Like I wonder if people know that.
I feel like maybe everybody knows this, but if there's anybody that doesn't, it's really a fantastic story of God's working behind the scenes and being so gracious. So I retired. My husband had surgery. Lorraine, he's doing pretty good now. And so then I was being like, Nancy nurse, and I'm no good at that. And I was extremely exhausted. And it was the middle of summer, and I was outside irrigating by myself, which is a tough job to do. And it's heavy work. And so I was out there sitting in the shade, watching the water gush in and trying to not let it overflow anywhere. And I started thinking about my book, Rain, that I had tried to sell several places, got turned down a lot. And I was discouraged in general, and thinking about Rain, it wasn't a good time to think about it. And I started praying. I said, Lord, all this time I really thought you were telling me wait, but I think I misinterpreted things and you were telling me no, and forgive me for being so obtuse. And Lord, I'm going to quit now. I can see that my book is no good. Nobody wants it. And so thank you, Lord. I feel better. And I did. I felt very light. I went in the house, told Mike, and he goes, no, I don't think you should quit. And I go, I do, honey. And I prayed about it, and the Lord told me it's okay. And I told my publisher later that the Lord told me it was okay to quit. And she goes, that was not the Lord. But so the next day I'm typing on my computer and I think I'll go on social media and see what people are doing. Well, somebody messaged me, and I don't like that really, especially if it's somebody I don't know. And this was, first thing was hi. And then I was really ready, for something. And this person continued and said, are you the Dana McNeely who wrote Rain? And if so, have you sold it yet? And so I realized that it wasn't a bot and started talking to this person.
It wasn't some older guy trying to flirt with you either.
Yeah, some younger guy trying to flirt with me.
Younger?
Thinking, oh, yeah, sugar mama, whatever.
Okay, all right. But, something to look forward to.
At any rate, this gal, Angela Ruth Strong, let me know that she was a fellow author and had been judging the Cascade contest with Oregon Christian writers several years ago. At that time, I think it was 6 years ago. And she said, I read your book. I loved it. I thought it would be published by now. And I thought I would try to look you up. And I had the hardest time finding you because it's supposed to be double blind. And the contest did not want to tell me who it was until I finally said, but my publisher is interested in publishing that book. And so they told her, she found me. And then it was, I think, 2 weeks later that I had a contract with Mountain Brook Inc. And I mean, that's a story, isn't it? And so she calls herself my fairy book mother.
And if you've read Angela's books, they're fun. Like, she doesn't write historical fiction or biblical fiction. So I love that so much. But it's also like, I hadn't heard this angle of it before while you're waiting for the irrigation. Like, how metaphorical is that? Where you're like flooding your land, and then within 24 hours, you're talking about where the Lord in rain, the drought is there. But yes, but then also
that's all I can say.
The fulfillment of that. All right, Rebecca, we'll take you for as long as we got you. Thanks for tuning in. And then you can always catch up on the replay, dear, if you need to step away.
Yeah.
Fairy book mother. Demi needs one of those. I love it. Awesome. And then actually another like fairy, like Princess Cinderella moment is Rain was actually a finalist for Christy Awards too. So it's just love to see God's like abundance of nourishment, and
it really was. And then actually, I don't know if you knew, it was also a finalist for the ACFW Carol Award that same year. So it was.
I did know that. So you're a double finalist too.
Yeah, it was a big surprise. So
I love it. Well, good deal. Well, let's. I'm going to read some of the back blurb about Mantle. If you've seen the pictures coming up, I'm really excited about this one. So book 1 was Elijah, book 2 was Elijah, and of course the events surrounding the ministry as well. And then book 3 is Elisha. Not to be confused, because it's like in the Bible, like so as an author, you're supposed to write different names for characters. So the reader is not like you. If you're skimming, you don't have to have a problem of which, like, don't name anybody else after an A name because you've already got Ava. That kind of thing. But you can't do that in the biblical fiction world. Because you've got Elijah, you've got Elisha. Like you have to go with what you've been given though. So anyway, here's my little random rant there. Here is some of the back blurb for Mantle. In the aftermath of Elijah's fiery ascension, the mantle of prophecy rests heavily on Elisha's shoulders. Called to shepherd Israel through turbulent times, he faces challenges from rulers, prophets, and even the people closest to him. We've got Jaedon, who is torn between loyalty to the prophet and his deepening desire to right a grievous wrong, and Gehazi, whose faith sometimes flickers, and he's tempted by the promise of wealth and power. His actions threaten to tear him away from the very blessing he sought to protect. And I love this bottom part is faith, redemption, the cost of leadership. Will the next generation rise to the challenge and uphold the legacy of Elijah, or will they falter under the weight of the mantle? I love it. That's really where my heart is these days too, is being a good influence on the youth and the teens and kids that I'm involved with. So I love that part about the next generation carrying it on. That sounds pretty amazing. That sounds pretty amazing.
Thank you.
And I've started as well too. Like I've already started reading it, and I'm loving it, of course. But I think what I noticed too, because it's been a while since I read Whirlwind. But I love how you've like picked up not even where Whirlwind left off. You were like kind of overlapping a little bit, because then it's like, oh yeah, I remember this character. I remember this happening. Like, so I think you could almost pick it up as a standalone. Have you thought of that? Or
Well, I try to make them all standalone. Merely did ask for that, and I've always tried to do that. But in each book, there's a character or characters that are brought through,
right?
And so you kind of have to refer back to their stories. And in this one, that scene was so pivotal. I did want to include it, but when I first included it, my critique partners complained quite vociferously that they don't want to read the same thing again, and I'm going, well, but it's going to have been several years, and
right.
They're like, you can't just put the exact same thing. And I thought, well, and why am I? The other scene was from Miriam's point of view, and this scene is from Elisha's point of view, or I can't remember if there was someone else, but I think it was mostly Elisha. And
Elisha, and you're also getting Jaedon happening. So it's like, even though he wasn't there, he was heard the events section.
Yeah. And so I just was like really making sure it was in their point of view when I was telling it. And then you can kind of tell the same story, but you're telling different things because that other person saw it differently.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought that was a really good tie-in, because it has been a while since I read Whirlwinds, and we all know where my brain's at these days. So
yeah, me too. I had to reread it as I was writing it.
So when we were gearing up for this, I asked over on BFA the readers to share a GIF of their either favorite or one that they thought of the most, the miracles that the Lord did through Elisha, to share one of those, and we were going to see if they're in the book. So if it's a spoiler, I guess you're excused. You can plead the fifth, but if not, I don't know. This is in the Bible, so I don't know. Maybe it's all spoilers to some degree.
Well, I have one thing I would rather not spoil, and I already told you about that.
Yep, so. Not talking about that one. So mine, I put out two little mummies, signifying at the end of it, when Elisha is dead. People are like throwing this other dead guy in Elisha's tomb, and his bones touch. They're avoiding raiders, so it's not weird, but the bones touch Elisha's dead bones, and then this guy comes back to life again. Like, that one is what I put in. Is that one in the book or not?
It is not.
Okay.
And I would like to just kind of say too, and I mentioned it to you, that after I finished Whirlwind, and Merrily, my publisher, was telling me how much she had enjoyed it, and she goes, and there's so many miracles that come next, and I was reading what might come next, and I want you to write another book. And did you ever know that they threw a body in his grave, and that body came back to life? And I'm like, no, that sounds interesting. So I read it, and then I started writing the book, and you know how long my books are. It looked like I would have like an 800-page book if I kept going. So
I don't think any of us would have a problem with that.
So I had to pick a different ending point. So
that's funny. Okay, next one. Vicky had in there a bowl with oil pouring into it, and thank you to Giftland. It was continuously pouring. So that one was where the miracle of the continuous oil to meet her needs, the widow's needs, to meet to provide for her and her children. Is that one in the book?
Yes, it is. How many have gotten to that point now in the book? At least to that point.
Not
That's
me.
actually in there quite deeply. Okay, so maybe nobody's gotten to it yet.
I know some people have already finished the book. I see some great reviews popping up, but no, I have not gotten there yet. Rebecca says you're behind.
Well, that's okay, Rebecca. You were first to like my YouTube site. You
know what? I watched it and I was on my phone. So then I went to I don't know how that works, but it's like, you want to sign in? I'm like, fine. I'm like, I'll send her an email by separately.
Okay. All right.
Rebecca's at 60%, and Lorraine did read that part. Awesome.
Good job, Lorraine.
Rebecca did read.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Did love it. And hi, Caitlin. Good to see you.
Hello.
Awesome. Okay, and this is where we speculated. So Demi, this one's yours. So if you're here, Demi had like this Viking warrior with a battle axe, and then there's a little fox down. Now, I think it's Nehemiah. Like, this was another youth group thing. Nehemiah talks about the walls of Jerusalem being strong enough, or not being strong enough. Anyway, the point is, like, a fox on a wall is in there. So I was like, I could kind of go with that. Is that? But the one that I came up with, Dana and I speculated about, that one was possibly the axe head floating to the top of the river. Is that, if you're still here, Demi, what was your intent on that one? Thank you, Lorraine, for reviewing. You are
thank you.
All right, oh, there she is. Oh, yeah. When Elisha drew the axe head out of the water after it sank to the bottom, it was the closest I could count. Yes, that was good. I like that. At first I'm like, what in the world is this? Viking dude. All right, so did that one make it in the book?
Yes, it did. Good job, Demi.
Good job. All right. Awesome. All right. What question, Dana, do you want to answer first that you don't think anyone will ever ask you?
People often ask me how I got my book published or why I got started writing, but I'd like to talk about what I discovered I loved about writing maybe the most after I'd been writing a while. And it was getting into my characters' heads enough that I knew what was in their hearts. And I knew the things that they struggled with, and I knew the things that they were overcoming with the help of the Lord very gradually, like in my own life. So that was maybe the thing I loved the most. And of course, the things they struggled with often are things I struggle with. So thanks to me. Can't wait for you to read it. See what you think.
And then Lorraine is it bread and fish?
I don't know. I think that's a martini.
Is that a martini? Oh, no, there's water. It's a water pouring, maybe?
Okay, water pouring. Okay.
Help us out, Lorraine.
And a hair dryer.
A hair dryer? I'm pretty sure they had that in the Bible.
I did waggle my glasses a little bit. I can't see, Lorraine. Give us a clue.
Give us a clue.
It's real tiny.
So water.
Water. Okay, water. Well, the water in the axe floating. Oh, maybe the water at the River Jordan, where he crossed, and maybe another one. But I'm not going to talk about that because that sort of goes into the spoiler.
Okay, all right. Water and bread. Is that the one we were talking about with?
There's water in there. Yeah.
And then the bread, like which incident are you talking about with the bread?
I'm not sure. There's lots of bread though.
Lots of bread.
It's not always a miracle, I don't think. Not the parting. The bread. That, I don't know, Lorraine. Maybe that one's not in there. I can't think of it.
I mean, I know in Rain, the widow was able to keep making the bread from the flour. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Of,
yeah. Huh.
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna feel really stupid if I come across it later. And if I feel stupid, it's appropriate.
Not the multiplication. You've stumped us. Let us know which one it is.
Yeah. You get an extra point in the drawing.
Oh, okay. I'm going to write that down so I can see that. Extra point for Lorraine.
Okay.
All right. That's in my chat now.
Next question.
All right. Next question. Feel free to please correct us on that one, Lorraine, when you get to it.
Oh, yes.
So you did say recurring characters. So who has come over from Whirlwind?
Well, you know what's really funny? Jaedon. Oh, yeah. Lorraine, you're right. Okay. You're right. The famine is in there. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Elisha has a famine too?
There's a famine in there. But it really didn't play up to bread. It played up to food in the pot. And the food in the pot story where somebody came along, and I don't know if I should tell all these spoilers. Anyway, yes.
Read your Bible.
That was in there. Read your Bible.
Read your Bible.
What was your question, Naomi? You had another question.
Jaedon, who's a recurring character?
Lots of recurring characters. Of course, Elisha was reoccurring because he figured real prominently in Whirlwind 2. And then Jaedon was there in Rain. Mm-hmm. A lot of people didn't remember. He was a little chubby-cheeked grandson of Naboth in Rain. And so there was that. Miriam is there. Dove is there. But they're very minor characters, really, in this book. And I'm trying to think who else is recurring. Even Akron. Akron kind of came back for a little short piece in this, and he was from Whirlwind. So lots of recurring characters. Yeah.
All right. Good deal. Oh, I had that question later.
And are you going to bring up anything about you, Naomi?
Oh.
Naming things?
Yeah.
So naming characters.
Oh, yeah, naming characters. That's right.
So I was going along, and I came upon a woman for whom I did not have a name. And something about her personality reminded me of Naomi. But I think Naomi reminded me later that I told her, it's just that I had forgotten, that my daughter Megan said, why don't you name her after your friend? And I'm like, yeah. She says, the friend that you're always saying is like a daughter. She said that kind of snarkily.
Oh, no. I'm not taking your place, Megan. I promise.
Yeah, she was like acting like it. But anyway, that's what she gets for moving to California. But anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
So
and the Arizona daughter, I guess.
There was that. And then Ziva, I had no name for Ziva, and I was like going through all the names, and about the only letter not used was a Z. But I didn't think of it still. I was like, Zephaniah, no, it can't be that. But I had a contest with my readers. Now, is anybody here today that was the one that came up with that name? I don't remember, but one of you gals came up with the name Ziva. And it means something like breath of God or the light of God or something like that. And it was just, oh, yeah, she is that. So
I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And actually, that's kind of fun because, I mean, that's an honor to be named after one of your characters. But it's kind of fun because for my last Kickstarter for And Their Numbers Grew, there was a tier that Dana bought, and it was name a character after me. So there's a Dana character in the sequel to And Their Numbers Grew, and it's that's in And They Were Persuaded. So that's coming out later this year. So it's kind of fun, like swapping our characters.
Yay.
I feel for your daughter, Dana. I am a refugee from California.
She moved there on purpose and doesn't want to come back. It's really sad. It does have the best weather probably in the United States, but oh well.
Yes, it does. They also have really great. I love the flowers that bloom. So
I know. It has a lot of things that are, it's just the money and the politics. And,
yeah.
so.
Yeah, it's crazy expensive to
Yeah.
live over there. So what would you say is your favorite spot for reading or even reflecting on your current work in progress? Or
Well, there's kind of a spoiler because you've all seen the video, and that's one of my favorite places to go out in the backyard and walk around Texas.
Apparently Texas has better better
Okay.
weather than California.
I've never spent a lot of time there, so I'll have to do that. But at any rate, yeah, the backyard is probably my number one place because there's flowers, there's birds chirping, there's butterflies that come like right, and there's a couple of butterflies don't dive bomb you, but there's a couple of dive bombing. What are those little bird twittery things?
Like a hummingbird?
Yeah, hummingbirds. They come down. Oh
dear.
Get out of my backyard. So that's my number one.
Aren't they?
Number two is sort of close, which is my treadmill. Can't always go outside, especially in the middle of the day in summer. And so I'll go hit the treadmill. And then you feel kind of virtuous. You're getting a little bit of exercise because you've been sitting all day at the computer. And now you're just, traipsing away on the treadmill. And I have videos on it of really pretty places. So I can walk in the Caribbean or on mountaintops without really climbing to the mountaintop.
Just your incline there a lot.
It's funny how when your feet get working, so does your brain. Mm-hmm. So I can be stumped and I'll pray about it and I'll go away and start walking and things come. So.
That's awesome. So you mentioned one of your favorite parts is getting to the heart of the characters. How do you really get to know them? How do you get into their mind and their heart? We have a solar, but I'm stuck in California. Sorry, I'm stuck in California, so I will refrain from comment, but my heart is New England, where I grew up. New England's very beautiful too. Mm-hmm. I agree with that. That's very pretty. We have solar, but my husband took it for his man cave. Yeah, that sounds very cool. I love it. So that's cute. Yeah, how do you get to?
Well, those husbands, they're always kind of throwing a monkey wrench in the works, but I think it's good for us all in all because it requires us to adapt and it makes us see things in a little bit different way, right? So,
right.
Yeah. Well, let's see. You had a question. Now I forget what the question was.
Connecting with your characters. How do you get to their hearts, their brains, their thought process?
Yeah, I mean, in a way, it can be hard, but generally what I've learned, and it's really kind of fun, is I put somebody there with them. And the two of them start talking about it. Or, the other person is the catalyst. Like in this book, Gehazi was often a catalyst for Jaedon. And he was more of a prodder, and not in a good way. And Elisha would be an encourager. And so when either way, whether Jaedon was talking about it or whether he was reacting but not talking, you see the change and you see the reflection starting to come out. So
that's like a mirror.
Yeah,
you put someone up there, and whether I like you or not, it's going to show me, my character.
Yeah, yeah.
How do you come up with titles for your books?
It was real easy to come up with Rain and Whirlwind. Mantle, I thought of that name, but I also poo-pooed it because I thought nobody will know what that means, or they won't tie it in with the mantle of leadership. Most people because I have so many who read my books that don't read the Bible until afterwards. I just felt like, yes, sandpaper. And that's what I am in our marriage. But so I really, yeah. And then you suggested it, Lorraine, and a friend in my small group, when I kind of brought it up, and I said, all my books have had one word names.
Right.
I've got rain, I've got whirlwind, and I need another one word, and I can't think of one for this Thursday.
Yeah. How do you get?
This other woman said mantle. She thought about it. She said, mantle. And I said, I thought of that, but I'm just afraid people won't tie it in. But
well, how can you get faith, redemption, the cost of leadership? Will the next generation rise to the challenge and uphold the legacy of Elijah, or will they falter under the weight? How will you get all that in one word? But mantle.
Yeah. So it helps to have back cover copy.
Yeah.
Yes, Lorraine, you always encourage. I'm so grateful for the launch team that you're willing to put your time. It's not easy to read somebody's book within a time frame, and then to commit to sharing and to commit to doing reviews. You guys are so wonderful, and you've been with me for the other books too. That's what's kind of surprising, that you come back for more.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
It's really super helpful to have the dedicated super fans of Launch Team where we can make it. I mean, because really, if we don't have readers, there's no point in writing. If
Right.
readers don't know to buy it based off of your opinion as a reviewer, then again, it's kind of it really does help, all the reviews and the getting the activity happening and getting the buzz people excited about it. So thank you so much for all of you who have contributed in that way for Launch Team.
You're wonderful.
All right. If you are just tuning in, we do have a couple more questions, and then we're going to do a game and a read aloud. But I want to give you an opportunity to grab a deck of cards and a spoon for our game. You'll be able to play with us.
I got the biggest spoon.
You got the biggest spoon. I've kind of been getting my graphics done, and I apologize profusely. Rebecca, we know you've got, well, I'm speaking for Dana here, but we know you've got tons of stuff going on in your life. And we're so thankful for the time that you are able to give. So please be at peace.
Be at peace. Absolutely.
We really appreciate you. So you're good. All right. So a couple more questions real quick. What is your go-to when you need to pick me up to keep writing? Like, is it a snack, or is it your walk in the garden, or what?
I'm pausing because you're pausing.
Oh, no, not again.
You asked me a question. Was there a question in that little flip of time?
Is this better? Can you see me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay. Is there a pick me up, like a snack or a activity that you do when you're needing like a focus break, where you need to get back into writing and you're just out of touch?
Well, I mean, I always want a cookie, but I try not to do that too often. Sometimes my husband will just bring me, I say, hide the cookies. So he'll hide them. I really need a cookie, Mike. And he'll go, okay. And he'll bring one out of hiding, just one.
Just one.
Okay, so a cookie, especially oatmeal, raisin, or craisin. I like those a lot. But sometimes I just go get another cup of black coffee. Sometimes I put milk in it. And I'm talking about in the afternoon. And sometimes I'll put milk and sugar if I'm really
living dangerously here.
I really can't seem to get myself going. I pump a little sugar into my veins.
All right. So this question I borrowed from what to ask on a romantic suspense podcast. And I'm guessing it applies, though. First of all, I guess let me clarify. Have you killed anybody in your novels?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And what is the weirdest way that somebody has died or been killed in one of your novels? And is it a character that the people were mad at you for killing off?
Yes. Yes. You know, as soon as you said that, I can only think of one person that I killed because everybody was so mad at me. Even my daughter called me up and said, I can't believe you killed. And then
was it in this one?
No, in the first book.
In the first one?
Yeah.
Oh, I think I know.
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple of.
There's almost one like that here, but not. Okay. All right. I bring it. Theirs.
Yeah. That's true. That's another one too. That would have been a good gif on there.
That might be the weirdest.
The weirdest. They were nasty little boys, so they kind of they needed God's judgment.
Yeah, I mean the ones that needed God's judgment, it's not as bad as the ones that were completely innocent. So I'll just say that. But sometimes you just can't help it. I'll tell you one that I did kill, and my first readers told me they were going to stop if I didn't fix it.
Oh no!
In the very first story, the dog got beat up really badly.
Yes.
And I figured he would have died, but my readers couldn't take
None of that nonsense. None of that nonsense.
I was glad to bring it back. I love dogs, so I brought the dog back. But the other one I couldn't. The other one had to die.
Yeah. I'm not even going to say anything because I've killed off some pretty important characters. And
well, if we're sticking to the Bible, it happens. And sometimes. That was one. It's like I can't not,
Yeah.
So, anyway.
We're sorry, kind of. But
I'm really sorry.
So what's up next for you? What are you writing now?
Well, surprisingly, I think I am done with this trilogy and may not write another one. I'm not ruling it out because there's more I could write. So maybe that, but I'm not doing that now. What I am doing is I'm working on a New Testament story. I sort of think I need a palate cleanser. And I am writing about the prophetess Anna in the first century temple because I like writing about old gals, and that's what I'm doing.
But I think that's good because then it's relatable to a whole new audience too. So that's
And I mean, I can't help putting young children in there. So there's a young boy about 10-ish, about 10 years of age. He's in there, and I just love him. I'm trying to think if there's any animals in there. Can't remember any. I might have to put some animals in there. So I'm about 14 chapters into that. I'm working on chapter 14. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Awesome. Well, good deal. If you want to find out first about Dana's Anna project, then I would highly suggest that you subscribe to her newsletter because then you'll get the first off details on that. And here, I'll put the link in.
A free book.
And a free book.
Yeah. In fact, it's a prequel to this series.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Totally got invested. God writes best stories. I don't think there's another book about her. How exciting about Anna. That'll be a good one since you know so little. Why did she never leave the temple?
I have a reason. It's a spoiler. Not telling.
No telling yet. It'll come. Stick with us. So yeah, be sure to subscribe to Dana's newsletter. You get all of her updates, and of course she hangs out here on BFA, and I think she's on other socials as well, but you can find that all on her website. Awesome. Do you want to do the read aloud next, or do you want to do the game next?
Let me do it so that I can relax and really enjoy the game.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just tuning in, every comment will get you entered into a drawing of a paperback for Mantle if you are in the US. If you are not, you probably are not the country. And yeah, the comments will be opened through the weekend, and then we will randomly select the winner on that. And if you're just tuning in, while Dana's reading, bring your device with you, but find a deck of cards and a spoon for our game. We'll have an interaction game that we all can play. So, all right, I'm going to maximize you, Dana.
Okay.
And this is from Mantle.
All right. They walked in silence, questions filling Jaedon's mind, which he considered, then discarded. He would not ask again to be Elisha's servant, at least not yet. Somehow, Jaedon felt that having given Gehazi that half promise that Elisha would not speak to Jaedon on the subject. He felt certain Elisha's "we will see" did not mean probably not, as it did with Ema. Elisha looked at him sideways and chuckled. Had he heard Jaedon's thought? "Where are we going?" he asked, then wanted to clap his hand over his mouth. "You are going home to Gilgal, and I am going beyond. But first, we need to deal with something up ahead. Stay close to me, very close." Elisha's tone was grave, and Jaedon cast a quick glance at his face. However, the prophet's gaze was fixed on the ground. "Where will we stop?" "You will know." They continued in silence a while longer. Tangled thickets lined the banks of the ridge. They passed a patch of kalaneet, a fox skull half hidden in their crimson blooms, and a narrow foot trail which departed from the ridge. Would they turn off the main route for one of the hidden settlements? It was common for the prophets to impart teaching as they came across such tucked-away places. No doubt, Elisha knew of many that Jaedon had not visited on the few trips he had taken with Elijah and Elisha. Just ahead, trees loomed tall and dense. Heavy shade fell across the road. As he often did when in forested areas, Jaedon searched the skies. No sign of his eagle, Hevel, and her mate, but there was no bird song either, so he'd keep a lookout. The turnoff leading to Bethel was not far, around a curve in the ridge. He thought of Naomi, hoping her neighbors had checked on her as they promised. Perhaps he and Elisha could do so. When we came past Bethel on the way to Jericho, Jaedon hesitated, hearing a rustle in the woods. He turned, but saw nothing but trees. Elisha glanced at him, one eyebrow hiked. Jaedon shrugged, and the two walked on, but he did not resume the interrupted thought. Then came the sounds of crunching footfalls, snapping twigs, and raucous laughter. Both turned to face what was coming. A mob of young men emerged from behind trees, 50 or 60 in number, many carrying clubs or staffs, others hoisting fist-sized rocks. Jaedon felt his mouth gape. "Remember," Elisha said, "stay close."
Oh, that is definitely a reason to buy the book, because that is a cliffhanger. It's not a spoiler if it's in the Bible, right?
Right.
So, Oh, you know what? One thing I wanted to say before we move on, I thought, like, I love how you bring the symbolism in, where you have DPN. I don't know what DPN is. Is that fancy? Is that texting language? Yeah. So the symbolism, like we know that Elijah goes up in the chariot. But I love how you brought that in, that a chariot, like, first of all, he always wanted to do so, but also the chariot, that he was the chariot as like a war symbol, like he's the first of the line for Israel. I love how all your illustrations, and it was beautiful. It was an error. DPN is an error. We still come up with it.
We're still trying to come up with some kind of meaning to that.
I'm like, I should know. Maybe I should know this, but a good deal. So awesome. Well, congratulations on that. We're excited. We're going to keep in tune with what's happening. And now your book's releasing. And now it is game time. So what we're going to do is we're going to play Ultimate Spoons. If you've ever played in a youth group, what you have to do is you have to get 4 of a kind. And usually you're doing it with a whole circle of a whole crowd of people. But this one is just us, all of us individually, with our cards, with our spoon. So we're going to have to, oh, there we go. It's called, this is what we're now calling DPN, Deep Pondering Narrative. I love it. A great portion to read from Rebecca. Yes, it was. It's definitely a cliffhanger. Rebecca has her cards and her spoon, and Caitlin is ready. Okay, so what you have to do is you start with 4 cards in your hand, and then you're going to keep drawing. You can only have 4 cards in your hand. So like right now I've got a king, a 10, a 3, and a 6. I'm going to keep drawing. Got a 4. I don't need that. I'm looking for 4 of a kind. So when I find, let me see if I can't get something real quick that'll help us with this illustration. All right, here I found another 6. And so I'm going to keep the 6, and I'm going to get rid of one of my other cards. So I'm looking for all 4 6s. Have you played spoons before, Dana?
Yes, but it looks like my cards would make me win right away.
Okay, maybe everybody should give a quick shuffle.
Shuffled. And I don't know how to shuffle cards because I'm too uncoordinated. So I'm over here throwing them around and kind of wishing them.
Mike, we need a cookie and shuffling.
Mike, so when I shuffle these cards.
He's really going to do it. That's funny. So when I get all 4 6s, or 4 of any other kind, like if I see a 3 going by, then I can get the other 3. And now I'm looking for either a 3 or a 6, but you only can have 4 cards in your hand at a time.
So it can be 4 6s or 4 clubs.
4 of a kind. They all have to be the same number. Or
the same number.
Yeah, 4 6s, 4 kings.
Okay.
4 aces.
Okay, that ought to be all right. Looks like mine are together by suit.
No, we're just doing 4 of a kind. And then when you do get 4 of a kind, then you can grab your spoon. Now, if you are not on camera, you're going to have to write in the comments, me or spoon or something. And then I will post that. And then so if I see that Dana's holding up a spoon, or if I see in the comments that somebody else has got a spoon, then I want to try to grab my spoon. Usually when you play with a group, there's one less spoon than there are players. So you have, it's like musical chairs. Somebody loses.
Okay.
Somebody loses. So with the ultimate one that we're all doing, feel free to drop in the comments when you get your 4 of a kind, if that's the number 4 or an S for spoon. And then you'll be the winner of that round.
Okay, so I'm assuming you're going to say draw.
Yeah. So what happens is you're going to, I'm going to go ahead and shuffle my cards. So no unfair advantage there. What happens is we're going to all draw at the same time, and then we're going to go fast. And again, swap out the cards that don't match my 4 of a kind. So I only have 4 in my hand as best as possible. So we're going to go as fast as we can through our decks.
So I can draw it and look at it before I get rid of one, or
yeah, look at it, and then you get rid of one.
Okay.
If you need the card you draw, hold that, get rid of one of the others. If you don't need the card you draw, then that is that's easy discard.
Okay.
So everyone give yourself 4 cards. There you go. And it doesn't matter if we see it. Like when you're playing with people, then you're like, oh, I think they're getting all of the aces, so I'm going to hold on to the ace. You can play strategy, but I don't think it matters now. We're all doing it virtually. So I'm going to look for a queen, a 10, a 2, or a 9. And then I'm going to swap out one as I do that. But we're all going to have the same card, and we all have the same deck of cards, or we all have our own deck of cards. And so we're just going to go like crazy people until one of us gets 4 of a kind. Does that make sense?
All right.
And then you hold up your spoon, and then if I see it, then I'm going to try to match you and get it. And then we'll probably just do first person wins as opposed to last person loses, because that might be hard to do. So, all right, here we go. So I have my spoon. I'm going to put it down so there's no unfair advantage. I'm going to look at my cards so I can see them. Okay. Ready?
Yep.
Set. Go. So go ahead and draw as fast as you can or feel comfortable with. Look at what you've got. Is that helpful to you? And if it is not, then just go ahead and discard. Oh, I see 6s. Oh, another 6. I should have held on to 6s. Okay, so now I've got 2 2s. Now I'm going to get rid of this 9 because I don't have a match for that.
7. I'm getting rid of something. Getting rid of that.
Oh, I got another. Okay, get rid of the queen. Now I'm looking for queens or 2s or 10s. Oh, there's another queen. Of course, just as you get rid of one, then you inevitably will draw that same one.
That's what happened.
That's what happens. And you can go as fast as you can.
Did I mention that I'm real fumble-fingered, which is why I can't?
Oh, Demi's got jacks. Demi wins.
Good.
Oh, and then Rebecca's up.
Good job.
Yours. Awesome.
You guys.
We got 2 winners on that round. Awesome job.
That's good.
All right. Want to try one more round? Another couple rounds?
No.
Rebecca's on. Rebecca and Demi win that round. No more rounds. We are done.
I'm just glad that it ended so quickly.
Oh, when you're playing with youth group, it can go on for a long time.
I know. It's like I'll do that with you when we go out to the cabin.
Like if I lose, then I get an S. So it goes on until my cards are on the floor. This is crazy.
Did you throw them there?
Technically, it lands like you keep going, and it gets nuts because you're only using one deck for the entire group.
See where I can't shuffle? It's like, they won't go in between like other people.
That's funny.
Yeah, I'm just cards.
Oh, Lorraine got a spoon. Here's her spoon. Oh, goodness. I love it. Well, thank you all so much for joining us. Be sure, if you're catching the replay, be sure that you're commenting throughout the video, because each comment will be an entry into winning a paperback of Mantle, which I highly recommend. My brain went crazy. When we get together, we'll play spoons, and it'll be even more crazy when it's more of us playing together.
Yeah.
So let's see, Dana, when we get together, what was our list? We had, Lorraine has the best graphics. Oh, her spoon. Yes. Look at Lorraine using all
Yeah,
of
look at that.
emojis. Nice job. Yeah, so we have to play spoons together. And what was the other thing that we had to do when we were together next? I don't remember. I thought we talked about something, but
I don't think I caught that. I was going to ask you though. I mean, we got 2 more minutes left. Could you tell what you're working on?
Yeah. Get boba. Oh yeah. Thank you, Demi. You want to come out with us and have boba?
Yeah.
I just got my 4 5s when you call the winner. Oh, 3 of you tied. Look at that.
I don't know. Do you think they were cheating?
Oh no, not our readers. Luck of the draw, I guess. Okay. Yeah, so boba and spoons. Next time we get together, then okay. It'll happen. Yeah, so I am no cheating here. Or maybe no boba. Maybe that's yeah, so I am my sequel to and the numbers grew is with my editor now. So that's pretty exciting. It's less. Oh no, it's longer than I figured at the beginning of the year. I had all these grand plans at the beginning of the year of either or. No boba, no cheating. I had figured out that I'd be, miraculously on top of like so many areas in my life, and it's middle of April, and my plans are not the Lord's. So I'm very thankful for that, because this is actually with the editor right now, and she's going to do a phenomenal job. But this is actually like, there was a time when I'm still with my publisher, my small publisher. I'm under contract for my first 2 books, but you have to be turning in that novel the day after or very shortly after the release of the second novel, so you're that fast of a turnaround. So yeah. At one point, I did have this thought or conversation with the Lord. I don't remember how it went down, but Lord, I would just want to focus on one book the whole way through, writing, editing, marketing. And so that's where that is. And it's good. I'm comfortable with the timeline now on that, because it will still come out this year. So it's still forward progress. And it's also just focusing on this one book until it's out in the world. So I like that. After here in a bit, I'll be setting up a Kickstarter again, and got some pretty cool special editions that's going to go on that. So that's co-written with Donna Elaine. We've had her on the show before, who's absolutely phenomenal as well. And of course, she was done with her part much before I was, because again, my plans and my goals for all myself are much higher than they should be.
Do you have a projected release date for that book?
Yeah. So because, and this is something I learned I'm getting there, I promise. This is something I learned with my first Kickstarter, and then some with The Weary World Rejoices, just the timeline of that. Definitely with the first one, I tried to do it real fast, the Kickstarter real fast before launch date. So because of that, I really like this time frame. Quite possibly be my projected goal to be done with the Kickstarter with the special editions is July. That's all sent out. And then I still have, if I look for a September release, then I have time to breathe from fulfilling all the Kickstarter and then build up excitement again for the launch team, which is different than, it could be the same. A lot of my people were on my launch team and participated in a Kickstarter for The Weary World Rejoices, which is absolutely amazing and such a blessing to me. Again, we've talked about our readers and our launch team people who are super fans and superstars, and we're just so thankful for that. But so I'm glad. I like this time frame because I don't write full time. I'm also very heavily involved with church and many areas in church. So we've got Vacation Bible School coming up, and then also this is the first time. This is where my heart is with the youth. Can you tell? No. I don't think we've played spoons, so I'll have to bring that out. But my heart is with the youth, and we have enough. We have a core group that we're going to do a custom service project this summer. So we kind of, it's not a camp where you just take your kids there and the worship's planned and the sermons are planned. It's
service projects. That sounds really good.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. It's we'll be serving at, it's called Casa de Amor. It's through Arizona Baptist Children's Services in Arizona. And yeah, so there's right now there's five teens going, and there's 4 leaders. So it's a real small group. Mm-hmm. But what I love about this is we're going to be renting a very large Airbnb as our campsite. And then we're able to take that small group to this place called Casa de Amor and volunteer for the mornings. And then in the afternoons, we'll do some more of hopefully the camp messages and stuff like that. So that part is still getting worked out. Since we're kind of in a small area, we're also looking at doing some things in the Phoenix area that we don't have access to all the time up here. So like maybe an escape room or something one of the days. So, so that'll be fun. So that's coming up, but we've got, because it's a put together camp, not a real camp, then we've got to put more thought into it. So that's coming up. And so I'm always busy during the summer and all that. So
good for you.
It'll be fun. Thank you so much, guys. You guys are amazing. So I like the timeline. We're looking at September for release. I also want to see, what else is coming out in the biblical fiction world. And I know Misu Andrews and Connie Lynn Cosette both have an August release. Lana Christian has a September release. So just trying to see, where's the best time for that. And I think it'll be September. Yeah. So I wish I had energy. I feel like, I know, like they say, balance is not where you're supposed to be because you just constantly are rotating your life. So you're like, that's the thing. Like, I wish I had balance in my life, but it's constantly rotating. So I've heard that harmony is actually more descriptive. Like, I just want harmony with all of the ministries and my writing and all that. So I wish I had that energy too, because I feel like I'm always lacking in multiple areas. So, so that's that. What else? That's my writing. I had all these grand plans of what was going to be done and accomplished by April, and very few of them are done and accomplished. So,
well, when it comes out, it'll come out, and everybody's going to be excited. And so, I think you need to find some time to rest and recuperate too, because I know how hard you work on things. So, she's my hero too.
Oh, you guys are sweet. No, I enjoy serving. I just sometimes I get like,
take a breath.
Why can't I do this? Because this is what I want to be doing. And again, it's finding that harmony of this is the time for this now, and tomorrow is the time for this. So the zeal of the Lord is your strength and harmony. Thank you, Dana. Any timeline for your new book for Anna?
No. There's a lot of things up in the air for that book. So maybe it's good that there's not an exact timeline. I will say that I'm working faster than I've ever worked before. Not really faster, but more concerted. And it has to do with having figured out that I write very well in groups. And so I've joined a couple of writer sprints. And I get up real early and I go in, and there they are, and we go, okay, 25 minutes, and we write for 25 minutes. We take a 5-minute talking break, back at it. We do that 3 times, and I do that every day of the week. So it's really great.
That's great. Good for you. It's always amazing to like see progress in yourself. Like, I'm writing better or faster. Or yes, it's true. I am working my way off of some of those high involved committees. So with the more responsibility with the youth, I told the VBS committee, this is my last time on the committee. I'll still serve at VBS, but I'm not going to be planning next year. So,
well, how many kids come to your VBS? Because I know you are a smallish community, and are they all ages or certain ages or what?
Yeah, so it's really been kind of cool. It was an abundance and a gift last year. We had we planned for like 25, which is what we had 23 in 2023. We had that. So we planned for it to be small, but then we had like 47. And we were not prepared for, like, that was the biggest feedback we got, was because we had 2 rooms. We had the littles, we had the bigs. And that was like, we had 27 in one room in a small church classroom. And so they had to move to the sanctuary and all that. So we're so thankful for all of our volunteers. So we're planning for 60 this year. So that for us seems like a big deal. And we love the smaller environment too, because then we can, make relationships and really connect. So, but yeah, so that one I will definitely still show up at VBS and serve in VBS, but I'm getting that off. So I'm just trying to be sensitive to where the Lord's saying, this is not your best right now. Like, this is where you need to be focusing. And
that's always I think that's something we're always learning, is what I was going to say. I think I'm always learning that too. And when you feel really upset about it or worried about it, you realize at that point that you haven't given it to the Lord, and go ahead and give it to Him.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know where we are in the program because you're in charge, but I just really feel like when we do close, I want to close in prayer.
Yeah, this is it. We're done. So if you're just catching us on the replay or live, be sure to add your comments, get in there and play our game with us if you want. Laugh at us because we're pretty silly. The comments will be open through the weekend, and then we will let you know
we're going to post the YouTube video, and they can comment there, or what?
No, so the live will save up here on BFA, Biblical Fiction Aficionados, pinned at the featured. So comment here, and then after we close out the comments after the weekend, then we'll post it up on YouTube, and you can still comment there, of course, but the drawing will be closed at that point.
Okay, all right.
Thank you all so much for being here. We are so grateful for each and every one of you. This is a fantastic community, and we're really blessed on all of you showing up. We're really proud of you guys. So,
absolutely.
So, let's pray. Do you want me to pray, Dana, or do you?
Let me pray.
Okay.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this time together. Thank you for all these women. I just appreciate them all so much for joining the launch team and for all the things that they're doing and for reading the book.
And men too.
Yeah. And Lord, thank you also for Naomi. Thank you for all the help she's been to me over the years. And I pray a special blessing on each one of these for their Christian help, for Naomi, and for each one of the launch members, for each one of my readers, for each one of her readers. Lord, thank you that you are encouraging people through these supporters. And we would just pray that you will bless them back. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
And I pray for Mantle and Dana's launch, that you just give your focus and energy, and that Mantle will sell lots of copies, and that lots of people can hear this message of your faithfulness and your goodness. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
All right. Well, we will see you around. Be sure to add your comments in.
Bye, everybody. And thanks for
coming.
Guys.
Thanks for
love you. Yeah.
Joining us in our shenanigans. We'll see you around online.